Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to prepare for you a keto soup from the blog I Breathe, I'm Hungry. I will post the link down below, including the recipe for the soup that I'm doing and all the instructions that go along with it, and the instructions for the 5-day keto soup diet, which is what this soup is for. So let's get started, okay? First of all, please forgive the mess in the background. I had just finished making some gumbo for my family, and yeah, I just decided to go right ahead and make my soup, so please forgive that. So first of all, I'm going to rough chop a 1/4 cup of onion. So literally, I just kind of find a smaller onion and I cut it in half, and I use the half onion. It is going to be more than a 1/4 cup, but I don't like to waste things, and so you'll see here it is going to be more, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, do it. But onions are a higher carb vegetable, so that is why it's only a 1/4 cup, I believe, but it'll be okay. So 1/4 cup rough chopped onions, okay? Next, we're also going to need a 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. So, I love sun-dried tomatoes. I wish we could add more than a 1/4 cup, but I get it. This is the brand that I use, and I didn't show the brand. Anyway, so let's just chop it up. I try to chop it. It's kind of rubbery. They're kind of tough, and my knife totally sucks. So, doing the best I can do here, and measuring that out, and yeah, wasn't quite close enough to the 1/4 cup. So farther down the line, I'm going, when I have an area where I'm kind of chopping a little bit more, I will actually talk and discuss with you a little bit more about share with you about the diet. So yeah, I'm just gonna toss this in here and get a 1/4 cup out, because cutting it's for the birds. It's tough, and it really ultimately in the soup it's not really going to matter. There you go, 1/4 cup, and I have to put them back. Ooh, better have a sample. Get all of the goodies out of there. So next, we're going to have 1 cup of white mushrooms, okay? 1 cup of white mushrooms, okay? These mushrooms, you don't have to cut them if you don't want to. I cut them because if you don't slice them up, then that's less mushrooms that you have, like less pieces you have, of course, so then therefore you don't have as many mushrooms to be dispersed throughout your soup when you make your portions. So I like to just give it, again, like just a rough chop, nothing too small, because they shrink, as you know, when they cook. So 1 cup of mushrooms. And this soup is so good, you guys. It is like so tasty. I really ultimately do not mind having it for 5 days straight. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of celery root. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what celery root is. I don't know what it looks like besides what I Googled, and I have a very hard time finding it. So I read that one of the acceptable substitutions is cauliflower, and I do like cauliflower. So I just find the smallest head of cauliflower possible, because it just calls for 2 cups of cauliflower, as I said. And generally a small little head is just a little bit more than 2 cups. So you'll see here as I chop it away. And another great thing about this is like minimal cooking. Like you make this pot of soup, I mean, like the chopping and stuff takes a little bit of time, but then guess what? For 5 days, your lunch and your dinner is already made for you. Like, it's done. You take it out and you heat it up in the microwave, like voila, like that's it, And it definitely is when, how soup does, how it like tastes better like when it sits. So yeah, by the time you're done, you're like, ooh, this is so good. So anyway, I've washed all of these vegetables prior to this and scrubbed off the cauliflower. So, and as you can see, there you go, the 2 cups and that little tiny bit of handful there. And I'm okay with that. Cauliflower is a low carb vegetable, so it's gonna be good and fine, even though there was that extra bit. So a little bit about this diet here. So here's, oh, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2 squash. Again, you're supposed to have 2 cups of yellow squash. I like to alternate sometimes. I will do 1 yellow squash and 1 zucchini, or like today I'm just doing 2 yellow squash. And 2 yellow squash is pretty equivalent to, like, the smaller squash is to the 2 cups. I have found it's pretty right on there. So if you want to measure it to see how close you got with your 2 cups, go for it. If you don't, you don't have to, like, do what works for you. With certain things, I kind of tend to be really anal about things. I don't know why, and some things I'm not. But just for, you kind of saw what size those squash was, and look, 2 cups, y'all. Like, almost perfect. So there we go. 2 cups of yellow squash. And now, oh, green beans. Okay, so I like to use fresh green beans. The thumbs down is because these are frozen. I really don't like frozen, but this is right after Thanksgiving, and so I think that all of the fresh green beans are gone because people were showing up and showing out, doing some cooking. So you're only supposed to have 1 cup of green beans. I'm doing like about 1.5 cups because the green beans are frozen, and so they have some of the water in them. You know how they are. So anyway, so about 1.5 cups of the frozen green beans. I would not suggest canned because I don't know, but the recipe also calls for 4 cups of Swiss chard. I am using mustard greens, and the goal here is for 4 cups. I just use the leaves only on this. I have had the middle part and the stem, and you know what? Sometimes they're really sour or bitter. Maybe that's the right word, bitter. So I just use the leaves. And so anyway, I just bought the biggest bunch I could find, and I am hoping for the best. If I have 4 cups, great, but usually it's around 3.5. So we'll see what's up. So anyway, so with this 5-day diet, while I'm tearing apart these leaves, so basically you have a breakfast of 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, half an avocado, and a bulletproof coffee. And then for lunch, you have the soup, and for dinner, you have the soup, and then you also have, is optional, you may have a snack of egg salad or of tuna fish. The egg salad is 2 eggs and with mayonnaise and seasoned up, and you can wrap it in like lettuce, make it like a lettuce wrap, or you can do the tuna fish. And it's like half a cup of tuna fish and mayonnaise, and you can like eat it on some celery or something. And again, that is completely optional. Or if you are hungry and you prefer, you can always like have it all together. Like you can have your okay, sorry, you can see here I got like about 3 cups here. So for your snack, like for dinner time, you can have like your bowl of soup, and then and your tuna fish or something, like if you need a little bit more, or at lunchtime or whatever, however you want to do it, work it for you. All right, 4 slices of bacon. I use my little scissors for meat cutting, and I just cut up the bacon into kind of smaller pieces, not too small, and I do not crisp it. That is just my own personal preference. I just get it started and get it sweating, get some of that grease rendered out of there, so that when I go to put in the tablespoon of garlic that you'll see here in a moment, that it won't stick. And so yeah, it's so good. I just get that going, and here is the tablespoon of garlic. It is just the bottled minced garlic. I don't have time to do peeling it and everything like that. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. So I just added all of the fresh vegetables into this, and we are going to add 4 cups of cooked chicken. Okay, in this case I'm using turkey that's left over from Thanksgiving. And then we are going to add 8 cups of chicken broth. Okay, so if you have homemade, great. You can use whatever chicken broth you want. Just find out, make sure the ingredients are as clean as possible. No added stuff. Remember, if you buy fat-free, that they are going to replace it with something else, and a lot of times that adds carbs. So that is not what we want. So Swanson is pretty good, and it has good flavor. So here we go. So we have 8 cups of broth, chicken broth. It looks so good already. All right. And of course, we're going to just stir that up a little bit. And definitely is not enough there, but that is because we're going to add some water. All right. So the recipe calls for 3 cups of water, but honestly, you could add like 4 or 5 cups of water because sometimes the broth cooks out or the vegetables don't produce as much broth as you would like. And remember, the meat is already cooked, so therefore it is not going to produce any broth. So go ahead and add that. I turn it up to high and I let it come to a boil, and then I turn it down to medium and let it simmer. One thing I forgot to do is I forgot to put on a lid. You're supposed to put on a lid so that you don't cook all your liquid out. So, and basically you just cook it until your vegetables are done. You don't want your vegetables to be mush. Just a little bit, and you'll be able to tell, like when your cauliflower soft and it's all soft, it's done. Okay? So, now I'm going to prepare my breakfast. For breakfast, like I said, 2 eggs prepared with 1 tablespoon of fat, 2 slices of bacon, and half an avocado, and bulletproof coffee. I like to make breakfast muffins, okay? So I pre-cooked the bacon just a little bit. This is a muffin tin, not a cupcake tin, but a muffin tin, okay? There is 1 tablespoon chunks of butter. I put that in there. And like I said, so the bacon is cooked partially. It is not all the way cooked. I just kind of did it so it's easier to cut. And when it cooks, it will not like grease out think about it, a tablespoon of butter plus 2 slices of bacon cooking in there. That's like a whole lot of grease that's going to just be there and unnecessarily be in your food. So render out some of that grease out of that bacon, get it good and soft and easy to cut, and just go for it. So like I cut up the 2 slices of bacon, and then I add it to each tin. So each little spot is going to get 2 slices of bacon. Okay? Very delicious. It's so easy. I really prefer doing it this way. And no lie, y'all, I just tend to eat it cold. I mash up my avocado in the morning, and I add garlic, salt, and pepper, and then I put it on the top of my thing, kind of like it's like frosting on a muffin, sort of. And then I eat it, and then I have a Starbucks. I buy a can of the Starbucks unsweetened cold brew, and I add 1 tablespoon of MCT oil to it for my bulletproof coffee. You're supposed to have a coffee with 2 tablespoons of fat, but I can't do it. It upsets my stomach. So what I do is I make up for that extra tablespoon of fat later by adding a tablespoon of butter into my soup when I heat it up. I do either my lunch or dinner. Either one works pretty good. Y'all, so a little about this diet. This diet is like so amazing. Like the first time I did it, like I lost 12 pounds in 5 days. Now granted, I was not already in ketosis, so therefore that was a lot of water weight. When it's not, like now, when I am already, I've been on keto for a while and I'm in ketosis, I will lose 5 to 7 pounds. Every time I do a 5-day keto soup diet or a 5-day egg fast, my average weight loss is 5 to 7 pounds, which is really amazing, and it makes you feel good, and it gets you back on track. And it's really great if you want to go on a vacation, or if you're going to get married, or you have to fit in an outfit and you're a little bloated. Do this for 5 days and you will get rid of it. But I will tell you that you will need to, you can't just go back to eating normal, because as soon as you do and you put that crap back in your body, then that water weight and stuff will come, some of it will come back on. So, but you will, you will keep some of it off. So anyway, there we go. There's the 5 days worth with the bacon, and all that bacon on that that cookie sheet. I take it and I will go put that in my simmering soup. Add that extra little bit of flavor in there, because it's like, why waste that bacon grease? So there we go. There is that. And I just take the 10 eggs. You were supposed to, like I said, 2 eggs. And I whisk it up really good. I add salt and pepper to it. There's medium to large eggs. That's the size of eggs I used. And basically, I just measure it out. Like, I just try to dump it so everything is even. So I'll just do a little bit on each one. And then I will just keep going back until all the egg is all gone. And my oven is preheated at 350, and I did not keep track of how long it took to cook these, and so I apologize for that. And another thing that you guys need to know, I do not add cheese onto these, because while doing the 5-day, you do not have any dairy besides the butter and the eggs. You don't have like any milk, whipped cream, heavy whipping cream, or nuts. So like I use unsweetened chocolate almond milk in my coffee, and therefore that will be being skipped this week. So therefore no cheese, just bacon, butter, eggs, and seasonings. And they're so yummy. So there we go. Put them in the oven. Alright, see, I did my dishes while stuff was cooking. Alright. Oh, here I come sauntering in with my breakfast muffins. They look so good. When I first open it up, it's always such a surprise, because the muffin is so much, like, it's taller, like it's standing out of the thing. And of course I'm going to drop it. That's just how I do. But there you go. And so this has cooled down. Like I said, it was really, really fluffy and way taller than the muffin pan. So I'm able to pretty much handle them pretty easily. But see, voila, looks pretty good. I just put them right in my container and finish letting them cool off, and then I will put the lid on and then just stick it in the refrigerator. And no lie, you guys, I don't even warm these up. I eat them cold. I'm one of those people. I don't mind cold food on some things, and eggs and bacon is one thing that I don't mind cold. In this type of fashion anyway. So, yep, there we go. My breakfast for 5 days is done. And here it is all portioned out, because I forgot to put the lid on. I did not yield 2 cups per serving, but it is still okay. It's about 1.5 cups, and that is still quite a bit of soup. And the soup is, like I said, is so good. I just salt and pepper it to taste. And there is that. Look at that. So, like I said, I will please be sure to go and check out the link with the description to get further instruction. Here is Tuesday morning weigh-in. I am 302.8. And let's see what we did. And I thank you all so much for watching this and putting up with me. And I hope that you try it and let me know. Let me know what you do. Let me know if you try it. Shoot me a comment at the bottom and let me know what your progress was and how you did. So, and here we go. 297. I am happy with that. And I got to eat delicious soup. And I got to be lazy for 5 days with not cook. I am good.